The opioid crisis is not just about drugs, it's about people in pain seeking relief, and getting trapped in a cycle they never expected. This isn't a story of moral failing, it's a public health tragedy born from good intentions, misleading information, and misunderstanding pain and addiction. To understand how we got here, we need empathy, not blame. For decades, society searched for a simple fix, a pill to erase suffering. Pharmaceutical companies and the medical community promised a life without pain, setting the stage for a national emergency. The crisis often began with a legitimate prescription for a real injury or chronic condition. People trusted their doctors, believing the treatment was safe, but a system designed to heal ended up causing immense harm. By untangling this complex issue, we can better support those struggling and prevent future crises. Let's begin this exploration together with open minds and compassionate hearts. In the 1990s, a shift in medicine led to pain being treated as the fifth vital sign. Patient advocacy and new guidelines pushed doctors to treat pain more aggressively. Purdue Pharma introduced OxyContin in 1996, marketing it as a safe, low-risk solution for chronic pain. Their message, the risk of addiction was less than 1%, a claim based on weak evidence. Doctors wanting to help embraced this new tool, and opioid prescriptions soared. The pharmaceutical industry downplayed risks and exaggerated benefits, making opioid prescribing routine. By 2010, opioid prescriptions had nearly quadrupled, but pain levels in America hadn't changed. Doctors weren't trying to cause harm, they trusted the information they were given. But this nationwide shift made powerful addictive drugs widely accessible. The seeds of a public health disaster were sown. With millions of opioid prescriptions, these drugs became common in households everywhere. Medicine cabinets were stocked with OxyContin, Vicodin, and Percocet, easy for anyone to access. The line between medical use and misuse blurred. People shared pills or took extra doses, believing they were safe. Because these drugs came from doctors, their dangers were underestimated. Many who developed dependence followed their prescriptions exactly, but their bodies still adapted. When prescriptions ran out, withdrawal set in, and the medical system was often unprepared to help. The crisis touched all walks of life: students, parents, retirees. Overprescribing created a massive reservoir of pills and people vulnerable to addiction. When the supply dried up, the demand remained. This desperation set the stage for an even more dangerous phase. The consequences were about to become tragically clear. Opioids attach to brain receptors, blocking pain and releasing dopamine, creating euphoria. The brain learns to crave this feeling, reinforcing use, a foundation for addiction. Over time, tolerance builds, requiring higher doses for the same effect, increasing overdose risk. The brain reduces its own pain-relieving chemicals, becoming dependent on the drug to feel normal. Stopping opioids triggers severe withdrawal. Muscle aches, nausea, anxiety, insomnia. The sickness and cravings drive people to use again just to feel normal. This isn't about willpower, it's a biological imperative. Even those taking medication as prescribed can become dependent. Addiction hijacks the brain's reward and decision-making systems. Drug seeking becomes compulsive, despite negative consequences. Priorities shift. Obtaining the drug becomes central to survival. This is the disease of addiction, a rewiring of the brain's most basic systems. As authorities cracked down on opioid prescriptions, millions found their supply suddenly cut off. Dependence and cravings didn't disappear. People turned to the illicit market for relief. Heroin became the cheapest, most available alternative, offering a similar effect for those with high tolerance. This shift brought new dangers. Heroin's strength and purity are unpredictable, making overdose easy. Injection increased risks of infectious diseases and health complications. The crisis escalated with the arrival of illicit fentanyl, 50 to 100 times more potent than morphine. Drug traffickers mixed fentanyl into heroin, often without users' knowledge. Even a few grains can be fatal, driving overdose deaths to catastrophic levels. People seeking relief were exposed to a far deadlier threat. The public health crisis became a national catastrophe. Aggressive marketing and overprescribing weren't the only factors. Lack of education about addiction led to misunderstanding and stigma. Many saw addiction as a moral failing, not a brain disease, preventing people from seeking help. Stigma and shame kept people silent, worsening their struggles. The healthcare system separated mental and physical health, making comprehensive care difficult. Economic decline, unemployment, and hopelessness, so-called diseases of despair, drove people toward opioids for relief. Communities with frayed social support were hit hardest. Safer pain management and addiction treatment options were often unavailable or unaffordable. This lack of access funneled people into riskier paths. Despite the tragedy, change is happening. Public awareness is shifting from blame to compassion. Addiction is now seen as a treatable medical condition. Stigma is decreasing, encouraging more people to seek help. Doctors are better educated and prescribe opioids more cautiously. Prescription monitoring and non-opioid pain management are now standard. Naloxone, a life-saving overdose reversal drug, is widely available. Access to proven addiction treatments like buprenorphine and methadone is improving. These medications stabilize the brain and support recovery. The crisis has sparked innovation, advocacy, and a renewed sense of community. By learning from the past and working together, we can build a future where such a tragedy never happens again. Follow us on TikTok at Recovery Journey 33, Instagram at Recovery Journey 33, and Recovery Journey on Rumble for more contents like this. See you on the next one.